The Dallas Cowboys are deep into their offseason grind, and the buzz around the team has shifted towards some key player workouts and upcoming joint practices that could shape the roster heading into the new season. Recently, the team invited 5 players for workouts, each bringing a different background and skill set, and there's plenty to unpack about what these evaluations could mean for Dallas. Alongside that, the Cowboys are gearing up for another joint practice session with the Los Angeles Rams on August 5th, a tradition that has quickly become a highlight of their preseason preparations. This kind of practice environment gives both teams an opportunity to test their depth, sharpen their schemes, and push players to compete at a higher level before the regular season kicks off. With all that in mind, the Cowboys are clearly working hard to identify pieces that can contribute, whether immediately or down the line, as they try to maintain their competitive edge. First on the list of players working out is Perion Winfrey, a defensive tackle whose path to this point has been anything but smooth. Winfrey's journey in the NFL has been complicated by off-field issues that have interrupted his career at crucial moments. Drafted in the 4th round in 2022, Winfrey came out of Oklahoma with solid credentials and promises a disruptive force in the trenches. However, after spending some time with the Cleveland Browns, his career was derailed due to incidents off the field. In 2023, Winfrey was cut by Cleveland following allegations stemming from an assault case involving his girlfriend, though the charges were eventually dropped after a pre-trial diversion program. Soon after, another incident involving a robbery accusation complicated his situation further, though that case also didn't result in charges. The Browns decided to move on, and Winfrey briefly found a new opportunity with the Jets, but nothing materialized into a lasting roster spot. Recently, he found some success in the USFL with the Birmingham Stallions, where he showed flashes of the talent that made him a draft pick in the first place, tallying tackles, sacks, and tackles for loss that suggest he still has the ability to contribute at a high level. From a football standpoint, Winfrey isn't the prototypical large space-eating defensive tackle. Instead, he fits more into a role that involves quickness and technique, resembling players who excel in certain defensive schemes where penetration and disruption are key. For Dallas, which has expressed a need to bolster the defensive line, Winfrey represents a potential low-risk, high-reward option, provided the team is confident in managing any off-field concerns. Next in line is Dev Levelston, another defensive tackle with a more modest NFL resume but with intriguing upside. Levelston went undrafted but was picked up by the Seattle Seahawks, spending time on their practice squad in 2024 before playing briefly in the UFFL with the Memphis Showboats. His numbers in that league were limited, partly due to playing only 5 games, but he managed to record tackles for loss, and sacks, showing a glimpse of what he can do on the field. Levelston's style is more about plugging gaps and providing run support rather than being a dynamic pass rusher, and evaluations tend to see him as a camp body or depth player rather than an immediate starter. For the Cowboys, a team always on the lookout for solid contributors along the defensive front, Levelston fits into the profile of a developmental player who could push others in training camp and offer insurance against injuries during the long NFL season. Turning to the secondary, the Cowboys are also taking a look at 2 cornerbacks with varying degrees of NFL experience, Jerry Jacobs and Robert Rochelle. Jerry Jacobs has some noteworthy moments under his belt, having played in multiple NFL games and even recorded interceptions during the 2023 season. Jacobs spent time at Arkansas State before transferring to Arkansas and entered the league as an undrafted free agent in 2021. His journey has been that of a journeyman, moving from team to team and filling in depth roles when called upon. Jacobs is the kind of player who may not be a household name, but can provide valuable special teams play and situational coverage, especially in a league where depth at cornerback is vital. The Cowboys' cornerback room is somewhat thin in numbers, especially when factoring in injuries and ongoing recoveries among key players, so giving Jacobs a look in workouts makes sense as the team evaluates all available options. Robert Rochelle, meanwhile, is a classic journeyman cornerback who has bounced around the NFL for several years. Drafted in the 4th round in 2021 by the Los Angeles Rams, Rochelle's career has included stints with Seattle, Carolina, Green Bay, and the Kansas City Chiefs, among others. Although primarily a special teams contributor, his experience across multiple organizations and special teams units provides him with valuable knowledge and versatility. Rochelle's ability to fill out a roster spot as a reliable backup and special teams player makes him a viable candidate for a team like Dallas, which often looks for experienced depth pieces to complement its core players. Both Jacobs and Rochelle represent a category of players that NFL teams depend on to round out their rosters and provide quality depth during the grind of a full season. Last but certainly not least among the 5 players working out is George Fant, an offensive tackle with considerable NFL experience and versatility. Fant began his college career at Western Kentucky and entered the league as an undrafted free agent. Over the years, he has played extensively for several teams, including the Seattle Seahawks, New York Jets, and Houston Texans. Notably, Fant has logged nearly 5,000 career snaps in the NFL, with substantial time spent at both left and right tackle positions. This kind of experience is rare and valuable, especially for a team like the Cowboys, whose offensive line includes some young players still developing their consistency and ability to handle the speed and power of NFL pass rushers. With players like Terrence Steele and Tyler Smith gaining experience but still relatively young, the presence of a seasoned veteran like Fant could provide leadership, stability, and competition for starting roles or key backup duties. His versatility to swing between tackle spots adds a layer of flexibility to the offensive line unit, something that is critical given the physical demands and injury risks that come with the position. An interesting point to note about Fant and some of the defensive linemen is their connection to the Cowboys coaching staff. Winfrey, for instance, shares a background with some of the defensive line coaches from his brief time with the Jets, and Fant's experience in the building could help his integration with the team. Familiarity with coaching philosophies and schemes often makes the transition smoother for players joining new teams, especially during the limited window of training camp and preseason. The Cowboys are clearly exploring a range of possibilities with these workouts, balancing potential upside with the practical need to fill out their roster and develop competition across positions. None of these players are guaranteed roster spots at this stage, and the team's evaluation process will determine who can contribute not only on the field, but also in practice and locker room environments. The team's approach to these evaluations seems thoughtful, understanding that sometimes the difference between making a team and not can come down to who brings the right attitude, fits the scheme best, or provides the most reliable depth. From a big picture perspective, Dallas's willingness to look beyond just the high-profile draft picks and veteran stars to evaluate players with diverse backgrounds and challenges shows a commitment to building a well-rounded roster. The NFL is a league where every position group needs depth and versatility, and injuries are inevitable. Finding hidden gems among journeymen and players looking for second chances can sometimes pay dividends over the course of a long season. The upcoming joint practice against the Rams offers another crucial opportunity for the Cowboys to see how these players perform in a more competitive environment, as well as to assess the overall health and readiness of the team. Joint practices have become valuable testing grounds where coaches can simulate game-like conditions and give borderline players a chance to showcase their skills against quality opposition. With the Cowboys on the cusp of finalizing their roster, each workout and practice counts. These 5 players, Winfrey, Leviston, Jacobs, Rochelle, and Fant, represent different facets of the team's efforts to balance youth, experience, potential, and reliability. How many will ultimately earn spots on the roster remains to be seen, but their presence in the workouts signals the ongoing drive of the Cowboys to strengthen the squad in every possible way. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Whispers are swirling around the NFL once again, and this time they point to a blockbuster move that could shake up the NFC East. Multiple sources close to the situation suggest that star wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. may have inked a 3-year deal with the Dallas Cowboys, though official confirmation remains elusive. While neither Beckham's camp nor the Cowboys organization has made any formal announcements, the chatter is growing louder by the hour. If the rumors prove true, this would mark a dramatic twist in Beckham's career trajectory. Once the face of the New York Giants and a highlight reel staple, OBJ's recent seasons have been marred by injuries and short-term stints, including time with the Browns and the Rams. Now, speculation is building that he's ready for a long-term commitment, and the Cowboys might be the team willing to make that bet. Dallas has long been rumored to have interest in Beckham, especially as they look to bolster their receiving core and support quarterback Dak Prescott in what many consider a make-or-break season. The team's current wide receiver unit, while talented, has faced questions about depth and consistency. Adding a playmaker like Beckham, known for his flair, experience, and big game capability, would certainly generate excitement in Arlington. What's also fueling the rumor mill is Beckham's recent cryptic activity on social media. Posts featuring cowboy hat emojis, photos in Dallas gear, and interactions with current Cowboys players have fans and analysts reading between the lines. Could it all be smoke and mirrors? Or is Beckham teasing what might be the biggest free agency splash of the offseason? Of course, until pen meets paper, this remains firmly in the realm of speculation. But in a league where timing, chemistry, and firepower often spell the difference between contenders and pretenders, the idea of OBJ wearing the star on his helmet is enough to set imaginations ablaze. If this is more than just noise, the NFC East and the league as a whole might be in for one electrifying shakeup. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.